In a land where snow-capped mountains kiss the sky, lived a brave little corgi named Max and his best friend, a kind young adventurer. One bright morning, they set out to explore the shimmering ice fields. The world was a vast, white wonderland, and the air was calm and crisp. Max, with his fluffy tail wagging, bounded through the fresh snow, his short legs making tiny, perfect prints. It was a perfect day for an adventure, but the mountains held secrets, and the weather could change in a heartbeat. Suddenly, dark, grumpy clouds rolled in, swallowing the blue sky. A freezing wind began to howl, whispering warnings through the icy peaks. Snowflakes, once gentle and soft, started to fall thick and fast, like a great white curtain dropping over the world. A mighty blizzard had arrived, turning their peaceful walk into a fight for survival. Visibility dropped to almost nothing. The wind pushed and shoved, trying to knock them off their feet. In the swirling chaos, disaster struck. The ground beneath the adventurer's feet suddenly gave way with a loud crack. He fell into a deep, icy crevasse, just barely catching the edge with his fingertips. Below him was a dark, frozen abyss. He was hanging on for dear life. Max, though small, was filled with a huge, courageous heart. The wind roared, trying to push him away, but he refused to leave his friend. He barked with all his might, his voice a tiny beacon of hope in the raging storm. He clawed at the slippery ice, trying to get a grip, his eyes fixed on his owner dangling dangerously below. He would not let him go. With a determined growl, Max lunged forward. He clamped his strong teeth onto the thick fabric of his owner's jacket. He pulled and he pulled, his little paws sliding on the slick ice, every muscle straining. It was a tug-of-war against the storm itself. With one final, mighty heave, he pulled his friend back from the edge. They collapsed onto the snow, safe but completely exhausted. But their ordeal was far from over. The adventurer was too cold and weak to move. Shivering uncontrollably, he lay in the snow, the biting cold seeping into his bones. Max knew he had to do something. He nuzzled his friend, then sprang into action, disappearing into the whiteoat. Through the blinding snow, he sniffed and searched, until he found a small cave, a rocky shelter from the relentless storm. He guided his owner to the little haven, and as night fell, they huddled together. Max pressed his warm, furry body against his friend, sharing his own heat, a tiny, living furnace in the frozen world. Through the long, dark hours, he stayed awake, guarding and comforting him, a true and loyal companion. Their bond was a silent promise of survival. When morning came, the storm had passed. The first rays of sunlight sparkled on the fresh snow, painting the world in shades of gold and pink. Hope returned. Max, sensing a change, ran to the mouth of the cave and began to bark. His calls echoed across the silent landscape,